Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Root Beer here with question number 9 on the Pascal competition from 2003 put out by the University of Waterloo. Those fine folks, if you want a copy of this contest, you can click the link in the description or click the second link to just be taken to all their past competitions, and you can take a look and find one that suits you just fine. So question number 9 here. The largest prime number less than 30 that can be written as the sum of two primes is... Alright, so we've got possible options of 29, that's certainly a prime less than 30, 23, 19, 17, and 13. Now with a question like this where they say find the largest, or other questions will say find the smallest or the least value of, things like that, and they're giving you your multiple choice answers, the best thing to do is usually to try and go either in order, so go from the highest down to the lowest, or split the difference. So I notice 19 is in the middle. Okay, so it might be a good idea to see, could 19 be expressed as a sum of two primes? If it can, then possibly the answer is higher. Okay, now that technique isn't going to work exactly well, splitting it in the middle and going, because if 19 isn't the sum, well, does that mean the answer's got to be lower? Or maybe 23 could be a sum, but just 19 happens not to be. So, well, sometimes it's a good idea to split the difference, go middle, and that way you know, does my answer lie on this half or this half? In this case, what we're going to do is we're just going to go straight down the line. We're going to start at 29. If we can express 29 as the sum of two primes, we're done. If we can't, we know the number is 23 or less. So we'll go down to 23. Each time we're going to be checking the largest possible answer, okay, until we've ruled it out. That way, once we find one of these answers that's got the prime can be expressed as a sum of two primes, we'll know we have the answer. Okay, so let's grab our pen, and maybe it might be a good idea to write down all the primes that are less than 30. That way we know what things we can make a sum of. Okay. So, we got, let's list the primes less than 30. So we got 2, 2 is a prime, 1 is not. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, and now we're starting to get into these numbers, the ones that are being listed. 17, 19, 23, 29. Okay? So these are the primes less than 30. If we add up a couple of them, we might get, say, 19 or something like that, or 23. But if I take a look at these numbers, for example, let's just do 3 plus 7. I get 10. How about 5 plus 11? I get 16. How about 17 plus 11? I get 28. These numbers here are all even. If I take any two odd numbers, I'm going to get an even number. But all the primes that I'm considering are odd. So how can I take two primes, add them together, and get an odd number? Well, I have to use the even prime number 2, and that's a big help. Okay? Once I know one of the numbers that I'm adding has got to be 2, that can certainly help. Is 29 the sum of two primes? I don't know. Is it a prime plus 2? Well, 29 is 2 plus some number. It's 2 plus 27. 27 is not a prime. So 29 won't be our answer. In fact, we give a special name to primes that differ by 2. They're called twin primes. Okay? So what we're actually looking for, if you're familiar with twin primes, we're looking for the biggest twin prime less than 30, where it's the bigger of the two twin primes. Okay? But if you're not familiar with any of that jargon, or you're just not interested in viewing the question that way, that's okay. Our analysis still works here, that odd plus odd is even. So to get an odd prime, we must use 2. Okay? So 29 is 27 plus 2. 27 is not prime. So 29 is not the sum of two primes. Okay, what was the next one? 23, that was B. 23, that's, well, what do I need to add with 2 to get 23? 21. But 21 is not prime. How about 19? That was the next biggest. That was C. That was the very middle. Well, that can be written as 17 plus 2, and 17 is prime. Okay? So automatically, that's the highest number that we've got that works, that is the sum of two primes. So C is our answer. Okay? If you'd kept going, 17 is 15 plus 2. Okay, that's the only way to write it possibly as a sum of two primes, because you have to have that 2 in there. But 15 is not a prime, so it doesn't work. And 13 does work. 13 is 11, which is prime, plus 2, which is another prime. But the question's asking us for the largest. Okay? It says right there, the largest prime. So while 13 is capable of being written as the sum of two primes, it's not the largest because 19 beats it. So that's why we give our answer as C. Okay? In the next video, we're going to take a look at question number 10. So join me then.